A man stabbed multiple times, where he was found and what police are saying about the suspect.
What's next now that the Supreme Court has announced Title 42 will remain in effect and the changes from the Biden administration.
And our warming trend continues, but humidity is also on the rise. We'll tell you what that could mean for the morning drive tomorrow in a bit.
Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
San Antonio police are searching for a suspect responsible for stabbing a man a number of times.
That man later showed up at a QT gas station trying to clean up the blood before losing consciousness. It happened last night around 10. The victim found at a gas station near San Pedro and San Antonio College. Police don't know where the man was originally stabbed, but he was transported to the hospital in serious condition. They say the victim refused to cooperate with police. It remains an ongoing investigation.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office has now identified an 8-year-old girl that was killed in a suspected drunk driving crash nearly a week ago. That crash happened last Thursday on General McMullen Drive near West Commerce Street. San Antonio police say that Nicole Vidales was a passenger in the backseat of a Dodge Journey. It lost control, hitting a fire hydrant and a vehicle before crashing into the utility pole. Vidales was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver was arrested for intoxication manslaughter.
A deal to sell shoes took a turn for the worse as it ended up in a shooting on the far west side. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says a man in his 20s was trying to sell shoes to someone before getting shot in the chest in front of his own house. BCSO has no information on the suspect. The man was taken to University Hospital where he is expected to be okay. The Supreme Court announcing Title 42, the pandemic-era policy that allows border officials to expel asylum seekers on public health grounds, can remain in effect while legal challenges play out.
That policy is set to end last week, and there was concern among both parties about the border becoming just overwhelmed. ABC's Elizabeth Schultze has the latest details.
A divided Supreme Court has voted to keep Title 42 in place for now. The ruling means thousands of asylum seekers waiting on the Mexican side of the border will not get an opportunity to enter the U.S. to plead their case. In a 5-4 decision, the High Court staying a lower court order that would have ended Title 42, the Trump-era COVID policy that allows officials to quickly expel migrants on health safety grounds. 19 mostly Republican-led states intervened to keep Title 42 on the books. It was supposed to end last week. They argued that lifting the policy would create an overwhelming rush at the border. The justices will hear arguments on the case in February, but not on the merits of Title 42 itself, only on the narrow question of whether the Republican states can challenge the lower court's order ending the policy. The justices also made clear the Biden administration still has the power to discontinue Title 42 on its own if it so chooses, though that process would likely take several months.
In the meantime, we have to enforce it, but I think it's overdue.
For months, migrants scrambled to the U.S.-Mexico border, hoping Title 42 would be lifted. Cities on both sides strained by the influx.
You had two situations coming together to create pandemonium and additional chaos in the small border communities.
The Biden administration says it's added thousands of personnel at the border, and satellite images show the rapid expansion of new semi-permanent holding facilities that officials hope to be operational next month. But it's broadly agreed that the crisis on the border won't be solved until Congress reforms the immigration system. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
And the discussion about the end of Title 42 has been making the rounds since earlier this year. We have a breakdown of what it would mean for South Texas as part of our KSAT Explained series. To watch that episode, all you have to do is scan that QR code you're seeing right now on your screen and look for the article. You can also find it at KSAT.com.
A reminder over the boil water notice that affected several households in Kerr County. The Texas Water Utilities has given an all-clear notice for people under the Westwood water system. However, the boil water notice is still in place for 6 other subdivisions. Here's a list of areas still under that notice. More than 1,500 homes are affected. The boil order was issued after high demand and line leaks that caused low water pressure. The order will be lifted after the leak is fixed and water samples are tested. Coach Pop not around long enough to see the Spurs get rolled by the Thunder last night. We'll show you where he was headed.
And yes, the delays at the San Antonio International Airport. We're going to hear from some of these poor families. who are now having to deal with mounds of lost luggage. It's been a problem all across the country. It's all people are talking about. Travel delays. We've been covering this since the beginning of the week, but it's still going on. Southwest Airlines canceling more than 15,700 flights. That's the latest number since the winter weather began disrupting air travel on December 22nd.
Now, today, another 2,500 Southwest flights canceled. And now a lot of travelers are asking, where's my luggage? Max Massey spoke to some families today at San Antonio International who have been some of the lucky ones to actually find their bags.
I've called numerous times, haven't gotten through to talk to an actual human, left messages. I've come to the airport each day for the last 4 days trying to find my bag.
Chris Sidek is one of the many travelers across the country looking for his belongings. His flight, one of the thousands of Southwest flights across the country, canceled.
I live up in the Atlanta area and my flight was canceled. So we ended up actually driving here via rental car with a few other people that were in the same predicament.
Every year, Chris comes to San Antonio to visit family, and he was not going to let this last-minute cancellation stop him. So him and 4 strangers teamed up for the almost 1,000-mile road trip.
We all decided, hey, this is going to be canceled. We don't know when we're going to get there. We're going to rent a car. We're going to jump in, even though we don't know each other, and we'll make it about 14 hours later, which is what we did. We had a great time.
And now, the culmination of the trip, Chris has to find his belongings. His belongings that actually flew to San Antonio without him.
It seems the bag has arrived here, just waiting for more information.
So his luggage continues to accumulate here at San Antonio International Airport. Travelers tell me frustration doesn't even begin to describe how they're feeling.
I would say I'm very disappointed in the service that was provided, or that was expected. Tens of thousands of people are in my situation, and I feel that they need to look at their processes and what happened here and make some adjustments for the future.
Chris found his luggage and tells us that aside from Southwest's failures, this is a trip he will never forget.
It was an incredible experience getting here, just with 4 other strangers that we didn't know. Suffice to say, we made it safely and had a Christmas with our families. So.
Max Massey, KSAT12 News.
Yeah, at some point, there's going to be a lot of stories to tell after this is all over.
I know. It just can't. And look at this. There's not a cloud in the sky here. We're looking at all those delays and saying, hey, stick around for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, at least here in South Central Texas, we didn't have the bulk of the weather that caused those delays, which of course was the good news. But yes, it was plenty cold. But we've already got the warming trend in place today, and that's going to continue as we head into the days leading up to the New Year's Eve holiday weekend. Quick check at the aquifer level this Wednesday, up over half of a foot at 637. We still have 2 pollens out there, molds and mountain cedar, but they are both low. So that is the good news there. We're going to talk about that warming trend plus the humidity that is already pumping back into South Central Texas after the break.
Now to the latest developments out of Buffalo. Their airport set to reopen this morning as the death toll in New York State from that devastating blizzard now at 32.
It's an incredible story. Here's ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi with more on how the city is bringing in the military and police in recovery efforts.
This morning, the death toll in western New York climbing to at least 32. Officials say that number is still expected to rise. And now the massive cleanup is underway after the historic blizzard struck the region. The National Guard deploying some 100 military police officers to help enforce Buffalo's attempts to keep non-essential vehicles off the roads.
And this is a potentially life-threatening situation because if you get stuck and the ambulance can't respond, now they have to jump in the tracked vehicle, which drives a lot slower.
Buffalo's mayor hopes to lift the driving ban later today, telling us vehicles left on streets pose challenges.
We've got cars, abandoned cars, stranded all over the city, hampering the plowing efforts.
New video showing 2 men carrying 66-year-old Deborah Garcia to her daughter's home after her apartment lost power during the storm.
You see these young men? This is amazing.
Garcia's daughter calling the men heroes. This morning, we're learning the names of some of the victims tragically killed in the storm. Andell Taylor's family confirming with ABC News she filmed this video as she was trapped in her car. Her family calling her the most kind-hearted and loving person. And William Clay's sister Sophia telling me he was a loved father and grandfather.
And temperatures are expected to rise in coming days, reaching the 50s, which can create a cycle of melting and freezing and pose a risk to roofs across the city. And there's also a possibility of flooding. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, she makes a good point that snow has got to melt, ice has got to melt, it's got to go somewhere. What a mess.
And of course, we're getting ready for the big Alamo Bowl tomorrow night. We're hoping that a lot of the fans are able to get here to San Antonio because they're coming from Washington. Of course, Austin, has a lot of fans from UT. They can drive, but the people from Washington,
long trip,
be a mess.
Absolutely. And tomorrow's going to look a little bit different than today. Today we've got all the sunshine, but tomorrow we've got the cloud cover in place because the humidity moves back in. But before we can get there, did y'all check out the sunset yesterday? Did y'all see last night's sunset?
We can see it behind you.
There it is. Yeah, if you missed it, don't worry. We had some amazing viewers send in fantastic photos of last night's sunset via KSAT Connect. Thank you to everybody that did share their awesome pictures. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey actually wrote a really good article you can find that on our Whatever the Weather page up on KSAT.com about why this time of year is typically the time where we see more of these beautiful and elaborate sunrises and sunsets. And of course, she goes into some details on other factors that contribute to that as well. So if you want to go check that out again on our Whatever the Weather page, we've got more sunshine today. That's going to stick with us heading into the afternoon hours. But something that we will find also, thanks to somewhat of a breezy south wind, more Gulf moisture and humidity that works its way back into our area. And where I think you're really going to notice that tomorrow morning. More of that muggy feel in store as you're stepping out the door, maybe some areas of patchy fog, and then into the early afternoon, an isolated shower, mainly east of San Antonio, can't completely be ruled out. So we'll keep eyes on that. I do think most of us are pretty dry into the afternoon though, and then we'll really dry things out as we head into the upcoming New Year's Eve holiday weekend, but temperatures will continue to be warmer than average. So a bit different than what we saw last weekend for the Christmas holiday. But yes, you can see as we take you back outside, plenty of sunshine and blue skies, helping those temperatures warm pretty efficiently. Already at 65 degrees this hour, officially over at San Antonio International, 64 up in Bulverde, 65 on the east side of town over at Randolph, 69 in Seguin, 66 in Rio Medina this lunchtime hour, and 65 up in Bandera. As we head into this afternoon, expect more sunshine, temperatures warming, daytime highs in the upper 60s and low 70s. And then after the sun goes down, those temperatures fall back into the 60s, around 65 for around 6 p.m. for any dinner time plans, and then eventually into the upper 50s later tonight. But yes, a little bit warmer out there this afternoon than what we've seen over the past few afternoons. Around 68 in Bulverde, 71 that forecast high in Canyon Lake this Wednesday, 75 in Floresville, same over in Pleasanton out in Atascosa County. But I mentioned those breezy south winds. You can see already, especially compared to earlier this morning, those wind gust speeds starting to pick up just a little bit more. 20-mile-per-hour wind gust clocked in over in Bulverde, 25-mile-per-hour wind gust over in Seguin. I do think it's possible that we find more of the same here over the next couple of hours, and what that breezy south wind is doing, essentially opening the door for more of that Gulf moisture and humidity to work its way back into our area, which means for the morning drive tomorrow, some areas of patchy fog as well as some drizzle will be possible. Maybe not for everybody, but where we do find that patchy fog develop, some areas could be dense in spots, maybe a stray shower possible into our Friday, but then we really dry things out into the upcoming holiday weekend. But in terms of that very isolated chance for maybe a stray shower east of town early tomorrow afternoon, that's thanks to an area of low pressure that's approaching the Four Corners region. As that approaches the plains over the next 24 hours, what that's going to do is slingshot just enough energy into our atmosphere to maybe pop up just a few showers near Gonzales, Shiner out there in our far eastern counties. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but we'll keep eyes on that. You will notice more cloud cover tomorrow And then check out those temperatures into the weekend, a lot warmer than where we were last weekend. Lows in the 50s, followed by highs in the mid to maybe even upper 70s, guys.
It's a heat wave.
Especially compared to that, yeah, we've been kind of on the upward trend of that roller coaster.
Thank you, Mia. Now, before we head out to break, we want to mention that the San Antonio Zoo has been recognized by the Zoological Association of America.
The recognition comes from being the only known institution in the United States to successfully breed the endangered psychedelic rock gecko. According to a press release, the zoo received a national award for excellence in breeding. This year alone, there were 11 baby geckos hatched at the zoo. The psychedelic rock gecko is an endangered species that is only found on 2 tiny Vietnamese islands. It's believed that there are only about 500 mature geckos in the wild. Wow, congratulations to them. That's pretty good. Spurs can't weather the thunderstorm last night, and final prep for the big game tomorrow night in the Alamo Dome coming up. Last night at OKC, the second of back-to-back, their 7th set of back-to-backs this season. First quarter, Keldon Johnson drives. Nope. Jeremy Sohan, yes, with a big follow slam. Spurs up 3, 2017. Thunder center Mike Muscala hits a 3 with 1 second left in the quarter. They led 38-33 after one early second quarter. Pop gets hit with back-to-back tackles, and thanks to Sohan, he's got on the plane early. He was telling the rest to do their job, whatever that is. Before leaving, 11-13. Back to action, Spurs down 6. Trey Jones gets the steal and gets the layup. 70-60 at halftime. OKC, third quarter, opening seconds. Jakob Poeltl finds Sohan for another slam dunk for the first hoop of the second half. But a bit later, Trey Jones with another steal gets it to Jeremy for a fast break. And you know what he's going to do with it? Yeah. 77-69, closing seconds to Devin Vassell missed the fadeaway, but Josh Richardson tips it in. Spurs are down 95-93 after 3, but then OKC opened the fourth quarter on a 12-3 run, and that was all it took to put it away. Thunder beat the Spurs 130-114, outscoring San Antonio 35-21 in the fourth quarter. So the Spurs will be back home to host the New York Knicks tomorrow night at 7 at the AT&T Center.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Yeah, I remember we told you a little about this yesterday. Just days after playing his final home game with the Arizona Cardinals, defensive end J.J. Watt took to Twitter to announce his intent to retire after the season. Watt tweeted in part, "My last ever NFL home game. My heart is filled with nothing but love and gratitude. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure. Watt's 12-year NFL career will end after 2 more road games. His 111.5 career sacks is 26th on the all-time list. The 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, drafted 11th overall by the Texans back in 2011. The big game tomorrow night, the Valero Alamo Bowl between number 20 Texas, number 12th ranked Washington. The Longhorns have been practicing at Trinity University and looking to win their 3rd Alamo Bowl in the last 4 seasons and 5th overall. Horns quarterback Quinn Ewers was told the last time Washington was in the Alamo Bowl was in 2011 when Steve Sarkisian was the Huskies head coach, and they lost a high-scoring game to Baylor 67-56. Ewers was asked about his relationship with Coach Sark, a very good quarterback himself back in the day at BYU.
Coach Sark was a really good quarterback in college, and it's cool to see because sometimes we'll see the same things and we'll see different things, kind of talk about it, and it's awesome because he has great input on on everything I do, and obviously he's been there, he's done it. But yeah, like you said, it'll be a cool game for him and a couple other coaches that came from Washington. It should be a fun experience overall, and I'm not going to predict anything, but it should be a fun game.
Yeah, on the flip side, Washington practicing at the University of the Incarnate Word this week. The Huskies offense getting ready to face a Horns defense led by D.C. Pete Kwiatkowski. He was the Huskies defensive coordinator from 2018 to 2020 before joining Texas in 2021.
I played against the defense and I played with Coach K as a safety. So I was kind of in between those 2 different time zones. But I remember all the calls. I remember every single call like the back of my hand. I don't forget that stuff, so I think that would be a big advantage for me. If he doesn't switch up the signals, then hey, I might be making a lot more plays than anticipated.
Something tells me he'll be switching up the signals just for that reason right there.
Yeah, can't give it away.
A lot of connections between these two teams.
Yeah.
Be a good game.
The effects of COVID has affected more than just our health and our finance. A new study is showing how it's also affected the way that children are learning.
Social media app TikTok has been banned for use by the House of Representatives. What risks they say the app represents. Coming up. A new batch of transcripts have been released by the January 6th committee, along with 2 more of its interviews with former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson. The new transcripts show Hutchinson and her lawyer, Stephan Passantino, appeared to argue several times when she testified before the committee last May. In the new transcripts, Hutchinson claims she saw the House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, burn documents in his office fireplace between December 2020 and January of last year.
Meantime, the House of Representatives has officially kicked TikTok out. It's gone from all the House mobile devices. Lawmakers and staff members required to remove the video social media app from their electronic devices managed by the House. An internal notice describing TikTok as, quote, high risk to users due to its security risks, unquote, forcing them to uninstall the app. The government is expected to ban TikTok from all devices soon. It is waiting to review in a $1.7 trillion government funding bill that is waiting for President Biden's signature.
Chinese officials are responding to the U.S. for possible COVID restrictions on people traveling from China. Today, U.S. officials cited a rise in COVID cases in China and, quote, lack of transparent data. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson responded that any measures the U.S. takes should be scientific and moderate. The spokesman said all parties should cooperate to ensure the safe movement of people between countries and the stability of the global supply chain. According to one U.S. official, a decision about a possible testing requirement could come soon.
A Russian opposition leader posting a series of tweets saying he is being injected with an unknown drug in prison. His name is Alexei Navalny. He says he suffers from spinal problems, and prison conditions have made that worse. Navalny claiming he asked about the injection he was getting and was told it was just vitamins, but he thinks otherwise, adding that the injections are not working.
Pope Francis announced that his predecessor, Pope Benedict, the 95-year-old who resigned from the post 9 years ago, is, quote, very sick after a decline in health. The 2013 Pope Benedict XVI shocked the world by making an almost unprecedented decision to resign from his position, citing advanced age. Benedict's announcement marked the first time a pope had stepped down in nearly 600 years. The Southwest Airlines problems continue as another 2,500 flights canceled today. Southwest admits the issue won't be resolved until the next few days.
The U.S. Transportation Department calling this a complete meltdown of the system. ABC's Alexis Christoforous explains how the airline is struggling to recover after that massive winter storm.
I'm telling you, it was a long trip. Yes. Oh my God, 25 hours.
Southwest Airlines trying to make good after a major meltdown, chartering this bus from New York's LaGuardia Airport to Houston.
Oh, I hate Southwest. I hate them. I'm still stranded. I need to drive 9 more hours. My feet are swollen. I'm upset. I'm stressed. I'm tired. And I hate them.
Since Monday, Southwest has canceled more than 8,000 flights, even as other airlines have recovered from the massive Christmas weekend storm, leaving thousands of passengers stranded.
We were on the plane for about 3 hours before they deplaned us and canceled our flight. And then our next available flight is December 30th.
Officials saying the problems go beyond weather, including staffing issues, outdated IT infrastructure, and the airline's point-to-point flight system, making it more vulnerable to widespread problems when issues arise. The hub and spoke system used by most other major carriers helps isolate problems.
I'm truly sorry
2 days into the mass cancellations, an apology from Southwest CEO.
Our plan for the next few days is to fly a reduced schedule and reposition our people and planes, and we're making headway.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg calling the meltdown unacceptable and vowing to hold the airline accountable.
We are past the point where they could say that this is a weather-driven issue. What this indicates is a system failure.
A Southwest spokesperson telling affected passengers that they should keep all hotel, car rental, and meal receipts, promising to reimburse them for expenses incurred because of the record delays and mass cancellations. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
A woman in Buffalo, New York, being called a true hero after that deadly blizzard over Christmas weekend. Shakira Autry found a man outside her house suffering from frostbite. And after hearing his screams for help, her boyfriend helped carry the man inside on the morning of Christmas Eve. His name is Joey White. He was rescued by the two, and his family says he may have gotten scared during the blizzard when he was trying to walk home. The mother of three, total stranger, took him in. He pleaded for help with phone calls on Facebook Live as well. She was trying to get Joey to the hospital to treat his severe frostbite on his hands. And then on Christmas Day, Good Samaritans showed up in a vehicle that could make it through the snow, and Joey got to the hospital.
This man could have died. 64 years old, could have died outside. I wasn't letting that happen on my watch, and he wasn't going to die in front of my kids.
This woman did something that an angel would do. Okay, to take in a perfectly stranger, you took him in your home on Christmas Eve.
Incredible generosity. Joey's severe frostbite being treated at the ICU burn unit at that hospital, but overall, he's in stable condition.
Heroes are born out of those extreme weather events, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
And look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. I think we're to the Buttimus state.
If you got stranded, this is a good place to get stranded.
That's true. Yes. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Plenty of blue out there when we look outside with live cam. Of course, that sunshine with us this afternoon, but that means that temperatures continue to warm. So after starting off slightly above freezing across a good portion of south central Texas earlier this morning, let's take a look at some of those lunchtime temperatures. You can see in the 60s already across a good portion of the area. 65 is that lunchtime temperature here in San Antonio officially. 68 up in Comfort, 66 in Rio Medina, 67 on the south side of Bexar County over at Stinson. There's that sunshine that is with us this afternoon. Check out these high temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. And if you're stepping out for any evening plans, we'll see those temperatures fall into the 60s after the sun goes down. Again, could be a little breezy at times. Winds are now back in from the south. Some gusts upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour certainly possible throughout the remainder of this Wednesday, helping that humidity work back in. So if you like the sunshine, soak it up today because tomorrow's going to look a bit different. The cloud cover returns. Also will feel more muggy when you do step outside in the morning. Some areas of patchy fog and drizzle could greet you for the morning drive, and then maybe that isolated shower activity mainly east of town into the early afternoon. You can see, though, in the days leading up to the new year, not really going to need that big puffy coat in the morning. We'll start off in the 50s with still a slight chill in the air, and then temperatures warmer than average in the afternoon in the 70s. We'll have another full look at what to expect in the days leading up to New Year's Day in just a few, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. With the new year right around the corner, being healthy is one goal you might have for yourself in 2023.
Mandy Gaither with CNN describing what you can do to keep your body and heart working to make your health a priority.
Before you ring in 2023, set yourself up for success in the new year by focusing on your health now. Instead of one big change, start with the basics.
January 17th is the average day that the American breaks their New Year's resolutions.
So make small steps, make small changes that are sustainable.
Dr. Stephen Kopetsky with Mayo Clinic says next on your year-end health checklist should be to schedule wellness visits with your primary care provider. Check on your blood pressure, cholesterol, and if at risk, get screened for diabetes. Routine screenings for cancers are also key to maintaining good health. And arm yourself with knowledge by making your health a part-time job.
Get a blood pressure cuff at home. You have it linked to your iPhone or your smartphone, so it'll record the pressures. Know your medicines. Keep a list on your smartphone. Know what they are, why you take them, what the side effects are.
Kopetsky says to pick a day or week to focus on a healthy habit so it's not overwhelming.
What's important? What you eat. Next is how much activity you have, physical activity. Next is your sleep. That's one of the forgotten risk factors.
And finally, get vaccinated. It's not too late to get a flu shot or updated COVID-19 booster if you're eligible. Kopetsky says this can actually reduce your risk of cardiovascular problems.
When we get the flu or we get COVID, we get a lot of inflammation in our body, and that then leads to problems with the lining of our arteries where they start to block up and have blood clots, which can lead to a heart attack or a stroke.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Still ahead, we're going to look at this year's Times Square ball drop design and learn about the meaning behind it for 2023.
We suspected it, COVID impacting our lives in different ways. How it has changed the way that children learn. Next.